Well, Jeffrey Epstein is Pizzagate. I told you that earlier this week. But how crazy is this? One of the most disturbing characters of the entire Pizzagate saga is actually connected to Epstein and to Ukraine's Zelinsky. I'll explain that totally bizarre connection in just a second. But first, Zelinsky appears to be connected to Epstein into the trafficking of girls and children in Ukraine. And it was the upheaval in Ukraine that Epstein claimed in his emails would create many opportunities. So, the question, were those opportunities to traffic women and children out of Ukraine? In the newly released Epstein files, we find repeated references to two Kiev-based modeling agencies, both still operating today. In one email, a sender tells Epstein that they're the best agencies in Kiev. The others only provide, quote, cheap escorts. Another message offers Epstein contact information for someone connected to around, quote, 400 girls. But the files don't stop with modeling. They document travel routes from New York to Kiev, apartments arranged for women, extended stays, and logistics. They also show real estate dealings, including 2017 discussions involving Epstein and a mansion purchase in Lviv, emails tracking large money transfers and hundreds of thousands of dollars tied to the deal. But Epstein's involvement in Ukraine was much deeper than just accessing models. He was ready to take advantage of the country's upheaval. Take a look at this email from 2013, just before the CIA-led coup that overthrew the government of Ukraine. Epstein writes, quote, Ukraine upheaval should provide many opportunities. Many. The year was 2013. Ukraine was in the middle of a political crisis, and Epstein sent that message to the head of the Rothschild banking group. The emails indicate, along with others, that Epstein worked directly for and with the Rothschilds, specifically on taking advantage of the chaos being sown in Ukraine. Well, not long after those emails were sent, the Rothschild-linked interests aggressively moved into Ukraine, buying assets that had collapsed in value after the 2014 upheaval. We're talking about land and energy and infrastructure. And when Petro Poroshenko emerged as president, control of major financial and industrial assets didn't leave oligarchs. They simply changed hands.
In order to stop any insinuations, we have already prepared and fully agreed upon a deal to transfer our stake in Roshan to the Rothschild Trust, a company with an impeccable reputation, so that Poroshenko's name will not be listed among the owners.
Yeah, and then came 2019. Poroshenko lost power, and a television comedian by the name of Vladimir Zelinsky won the presidency. And Jeffrey Epstein? He seems to have made a new friend, because he later writes to a Ukrainian-born woman, quote, I want you to start reading about politics in Ukraine. Zelinsky, corruption, parliament. He later writes, yes, it is funny, but sophisticated corruption. Huge amounts of money will be made. I'd like to see you as a female oligarch. The Epstein and Zelinsky had lunch multiple times together. And then Zelinsky himself appears to be accused of being complicit in human trafficking in Ukraine. In a redacted email, Zelinsky's misspelled name is found, stating that he allowed modeling agent Jean-Luc Brunel to traffic girls out of the country. So who was Jean-Luc Brunel? Well, he was found dead in a prison cell in 2022 while he was being held on suspicion of rape of minors, sexual exploitation, and trafficking girls to who else but Jeffrey Epstein. And we're not done yet, because in a plot twist to this story, there is another major Pizzagate connection. See, Zelinsky himself, in September of 2023, he invited performance artist Marina Abramovich to serve as an ambassador for Ukraine. She would specifically help to rebuild schools and support children affected by the war. Marina Abramovich is not even Ukrainian, she is Serbian. She is also a central character in the original Pizzagate story. See, throughout the Podesta Pizzagate emails, Abramovich's name comes up often. She is a bizarre performance artist who performs something called spirit cooking, which is a ritualistic use of blood and semen. Much of her art involves highly sexual and cannibalistic themes. So the question is, what would qualify her to be an ambassador for Ukraine dealing specifically with children? Look, once again, there are so many bizarre issues that seem to be raised with these emails. Many of the names listed in the Epstein files are not necessarily connected to human and child trafficking, all right? But some certainly seem to be. And in this case, Zelinsky, who runs a country that for years has been known as a hotbed for pedophilia and human trafficking, also seems to have found a powerful connection with and to Jeffrey Epstein, and even after Epstein's death, continued to remain connected to those who celebrate ritualistic torture.